And welcome to webdesigner-resource.com video series. That's webdesigner-resource.com. Today's video covers WooCommerce. This is our second video series in the setup and use of WooCommerce. This is assuming that you already have WooCommerce installed and a theme. You'll notice that I have Wootique, which is a free theme from Woothemes, and WooCommerce already installed. So we're going to pick up where we left off in our last video, and that is on the settings tab. We're going to go into catalog. Now, the first catalog option is default product sorting. You can sort alphabetically by most recent or sort by price. It's really personal preference. Some themes have the ability at the bottom to resort. Some themes do not. You might want to check out the various themes and see whether or not they have that ability. Otherwise, they will be locked into whatever choice you decide here. Show subcategories. You can have the option to show subcategories on category pages, show subcategories on the shop pages, and when showing categories, hide products. This really is personal preference. I prefer to show subcategories on the shop page and hide products when showing subcategories. I think that just makes it a little cleaner, but again, play around with these options, see what they look like on your store and on your personal preference. If you only have one category, there's really no point in hiding the products because there will be no subcategories. Now, redirects, you can redirect to the cart when adding a product to the cart. That's on a single product page, or redirect to the product page on a single matching search result. Basically, the first one you would want is if they really only plan to buy one product. Otherwise, you usually want to keep them on the page. And the second one, that's really kind of personal preference as well. You might want to just, if they only have one result, send them right to that product page. I personally prefer to have them come back to a search page and just show that result so they can click on it themselves. Now, down here under product data, this is basically just to display the information for some of the I guess you would call them secondary product information. SKU field, the weight field, the dimension fields, and whether or not you want to show the weight and dimension fields in a product attributes tab. That's completely personal preference. Some people do not use SKU numbers, so why bother doing it if you're using only digital products, so you're not really worried about the weight. No point in displaying the weight or the dimensions for that matter. The weight unit, you can go between metric and English. If you go down here to unit, you also have centimeters, millimeters, inches, yards. Product ratings, you can enable the star rating field. Again, completely up to you. Maybe you don't want customers rating your products. And whether or not you want to have rating required to leave a review. Make sure that they actually give you a star rating before they can review it. And you also have the option in other places to turn off the review capability. Now, pricing options. The currency position, again, you can choose that however you want. Left, right, left with space. Again, personal preference. How you want the thousandth separator, again, depends on your country of origin, your language, decimal, number of decimal points, trailing zeros. I personally prefer to have the trailing zeros on. I prefer the 10.00 versus $10. I think it just looks more professional, but again, it's up to you. Image options, depending on your theme, how you want it to look, you can change the catalog image size, the single product image size, or the product thumbnails. If you do this after you begin adding products, you probably want to download a plugin to regenerate your thumbnails. Actually, if you click on this, it will actually take you directly to a free regenerate thumbnails plugin, and then just run that. It'll regenerate all your thumbnails and you'll be good to go. And that's all we're going to cover for this episode. That's the catalogs tab here in WooCommerce. We're going to go through a couple other tabs in later videos, But for now, thank you for joining us here at webdesigner-resource.com. Come and visit us at our site. We'd love you to poke around and leave us some feedback.